Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Peter here, and it is time for episode 69 of the PDG Advertising Podcast. So I think it makes a lot of sense to give a bit of a recap on what's been going on at PDG Advertising across the last 3 months or so, when I know that you've all been dying to hear what has been going on. And look, it has been really, really busy. We've now got more customers than we ever have had before. We've been just trying to knuckle down and do the best possible job we can for our customers, and the unintended consequences of that are that they end up giving you more work to do, and want you to do more work because you're doing well for them. And I can say that pretty confidently because our customers do listen to the podcast, and we want to grow and we want to expand. So there's on one side our customers are growing, and on the other side we're recruiting for new team members at the moment. So we've got our first round of recruitment going on tomorrow and Thursday, and we're really looking forward to it. And that reminds me, we've brought on a new team member, Neil, exceptional pay-per-click focused team member, and he's really shaking things up in our pay-per-click area for our customers, which is a really core part of what we do. So being able to focus in on what we do in that area very specifically. So are the CPCs too high, cost per click? Are the adverts relevant for the target audience? Are we seeing conversions? Are we seeing sales? Are we seeing leads? All of that good stuff. And having, someone to really dedicate and focus their time to that area is super, super important. And it's something that we're looking forward to continuing with over the next while. But we're recruiting now for more of the same, subject matter experts in their area, whether that be, account management, or whether it be in pay-per-click, or whether it be in email marketing, or all of those things. What we're going to be doing is bringing in those great people. And I've been pleasantly surprised. Recruitment in Northern Ireland here has been pretty tough over the last little while. So it used to be, and I hate being that person who says, things used to be great, but it really did used to be where you were able to put out a job advert and get flooded with responses, so many that you literally couldn't respond back to everybody. And then over the lockdown, over the pandemics and all of that stuff, recruitment got harder for employers, as far as I could see, because we would put out an advert and basically very few people would apply. And before, you would have got a lot of people that were not qualified applying, but now you just don't get anybody applying. Now, that must be changing because we put out an advert for our account management job, and it wasn't the fastest flood of applicants that come in, but I noticed that they were of really high caliber and really high quality. So I'm really looking forward to going through the rest of this recruitment process, and let's see how that goes. So on one side of our world, we've got more customers than ever. And on the other side of the world, we're working on bringing in more team members to look after our customers and, work on our plan and our strategy for the rest of the year and moving forward into 2022. So that's what's been going on at PDG Advertising across the last 3 months or so. And that is why we have been lacking in the area of podcasts. So exciting times at PDG Advertising. We've got 2 announcements to make exclusively on the PDG Advertising Podcast. And the first one is that we are now MailChimp partner certified, which is just incredible. At PDG, email marketing is a huge part of the customer journey. And as a brief intro to our philosophy and our theory on the customer journey, it's not rocket science, it's not groundbreaking, it's very clear. It's introduce people to your product via online advertising, retarget those people who weren't ready to commit in some way, whether it be by connecting with you socially, giving you their email address so you can email them back at some point in the future, or purchasing from you. Then whenever people have made that deeper connection with you, usually via email, get in front of them via email to bring them to the point of doing the thing that you want them to do, which is likely a sale or a contact form or something to that effect, or a download. Then after that, keeping in communication with your customer for feedback, for additional sales, and building that relationship going forward. And that's our life cycle. Now, what's really interesting is email marketing is a fundamental part of that. So in the 5 years that PDG Advertising has been running, we have worked across so many different email marketing platforms: ActiveCampaign, OntReport, Constant Contact, SendGrid, Mailgun, SendInBlue, MailerLite. Can't think of any of Klaviyo. Can't think of any more off the top of my head, but there's a few. Keep, Infusionsoft by Keep, whole bunch of them. And the one that I haven't mentioned yet, MailChimp, the one we're now certified partners on. It was the original one that we worked with, and the original one that I worked with, I'd like to say 20 years ago, but that would mean I was 16, and I don't think I was doing MailChimp advertising when I was 16. Probably more like 10 to 15 years ago. I was, let's go 10 to 12, 13 years ago when I started my professional career, all the way back then in the big outsourcing company in Belfast. And we would have used MailChimp. So we've been using it for a very long time, but never thought of getting certified on it. And what we're trying to do is to professionalize PDG advertising, get our certifications, and become involved in the platforms that we're working on. And we're delighted to say that we're now MailChimp partner certified. The process is where you go through an exam, and we did that and we passed, and we will soon be adding the badge to the website. So it doesn't tie us to MailChimp or anything like that, but we're really pleased that we're now certified on MailChimp. Okay, announcement number 2. We are now also certified Google partners. We applied. This is a big one. Now, MailChimp is big, but it's a little bit of a I wouldn't say walkover, but it's reasonably easy to pass the MailChimp assessment. I don't know whether it's just because we're experienced in it or whether it is actually an easier exam to pass. But we really worked hard on the Google certification program, and what it requires is that you spend at least $10,000 worth of ad spend in the previous month. I think it's the previous month, or maybe the previous 4 months or previous quarter. It's 10 grand in a recent period that you have to have spent, and we spent 140,000 in whatever the qualifying time period is. When I say we, are on behalf of our customers, we spent our customers' money on their ads through our MCC account, which qualifies us in part to be partners. Now, what you also have to do is you have to get certified on a number of different disciplines, and a couple of them include like search, shopping, YouTube ads. And another part of the criteria is you need 2 people in the business to be certified on those things. So myself and Neil worked hard to get ourselves up to scratch and up to standard, and we're going to continue to keep on going through modules and that, but we met the criteria today that allow us to become badged partners on Google. I'm hoping that this gives us some sort of credibility. At the moment, we're not looking for new customers. We're more about forming the business, making sure it's running as well as it possibly can. but also in the background, quietly, working on the fundamentals of the business that will allow us to bring in more customers whenever we want to. And yeah, I'm really pleased. I'm really excited about putting those on our website and sharing it across social media and that. And I'm really pleased to be sharing it with you here on the podcast tonight. Speaking of it, it is nighttime. This is a nighttime podcast, so you might hear a little bit of sleepiness in my voice. But it is 11 p.m. on the 7th of the 9th, on the 7th of September. It's a Tuesday evening or Tuesday night, and yeah, it's been a long but really good day, full of little different things, doing things for different customers, working on Facebook ads here and working on Google ads there, and working with Neil and the rest of the team, and figuring things out and just moving things forward all the time. But that's why you might hear a little bit of tiredness and potentially sleepiness in my voice tonight on the PDG Advertising Podcast. So something that we noticed this week on BBC News was the news that TikTok usage and average view time is higher than it is on YouTube at the moment, which is a big deal. So forever, since the internet was not, if you're talking video content, you're talking YouTube. Now, for the first time ever, I think, another platform has taken over average view time. Facebook tried it. LinkedIn would love to be trying it. But TikTok, as far as I know, Chinese firm, have managed to build a platform that has engaged people more than YouTube does, and that's quite incredible. Now, it doesn't mean that there's more use of TikTok than there is YouTube, but it's an indicator that could be the next step here. So people are spending more time on average on TikTok than they are on YouTube. So that's a big deal. It's never happened before. And what does it really mean for advertisers? It means that TikTok is a force and it's something to get involved with. Now, we've been doing TikTok ads for the last couple of months. Part of the reason why I've been so busy, just trying to take advantage of the opportunities that are out there at the moment for our customers. And, the TikTok ads are, I gotta tell you, they're special. You don't need a account profile to do them. You can set up on TikTok Ads Manager. We have a business partner account, I believe. But it's all very primitive at the moment if you compare them to something like Facebook ads or Google ads. But that's quite a cool space to be in, that little Wild West moment where, there's no real rules. And TikTok is very Wild West at the moment. I mean, the content on it is certainly questionable. If I had children, which I don't, but if I did, I wouldn't be letting them on TikTok. Definitely not. Content is X-rated at times and not appropriate. Having said that, I enjoy browsing on TikTok. It's silly videos and funny videos. Most of it's, harmless. It's just engaging and it's fun to watch. So when an advert comes up, I feel I'm kind of immune to adverts. I don't think I really am. I know it's going on in my subconscious, but there's relatively few ads, and whenever I see one, I can remember the most recent ad I saw on it. It was Jean-Paul Gaultier fragrance advert. It's really annoying, actually. It's of a guy that's a boxer who doesn't look like a boxer at all, and he's doing curls with the fragrance, and it doesn't. But I remember it, so it must mean that there's not a massive amount of adverts on there, and it must mean it's engaging as well. Whether or not I'll buy that, I buy that fragrance, I don't know, but now's the time to get involved in it. Now's the time to look at it whenever it's hot, whenever it's making that transition from early stage to mainstream, and one of that indicator of view time versus YouTube, very important. So I wanted to share that with the PDG Advertising Podcast audience. And everyone, I think that's it for the PDG Advertising Podcast. It's a it's a bit of a short and sweet return after a hiatus, but you'll understand that, we've got a lot to do tomorrow and it's pretty late here. So we're going to shut up the shop and we're going to get ready for another crazy day of it tomorrow. Really appreciate your listening. Thanks so much. Thanks to everybody around us that makes it possible to be sitting here doing a podcast. Our customers, our team, our followers online. Just really appreciate your engagement and your following of us, and I look forward to connecting with you all. And on that note, if you want to leave any comments about content that you'd like to see, then do it on any of the platforms that you see this podcast on. And I hope you have a really great evening, day, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. And if you're in the gym while you're listening to this, then push it up a notch and do your best. Thanks a lot. Bye.